Hello, hello, happy Friday. Welcome to our Friday Witchy live stream. We do this every single Friday. And today we have a really fun, really interesting, hopefully uplifting message of what do people love about you. I always love this one. I do one like this around Thanksgiving, which is like why people are grateful for you. And I feel like I actually get to know a lot about people. It's one of my favorite ones. But before we jump into this, Noor pointed out earlier that I have 44.4 thousand subscribers, which thank you for that, by the way, and welcome if you're new. But I just had to look up angel number 444. I don't usually do that, but this was really interesting. And in case there's some messages here, I just wanted to read some of this. But it says, so I'm reading from a USA Today article, which I didn't realize that they did angel numbers, but apparently they do. So, but it says, what does 444 mean? This angel number brings a phoenix energy with its role in your life. And then she goes on to say, when studying numerology, the number 4 is associated with transformative energy. Have you been going through a major life change? Do you keep seeing a sequence of 4s pop up on everything? Let's see. So what does 444 mean? It often represents change. So if you keep seeing that, you may have shifts in your life, maybe a physical move or something like that. And then it usually depends on how well we cope with challenge and change. So I just wanted to say that because I thought that was really interesting. And maybe for some people that could be a little message, or maybe that's what people love about you is that you've helped them through some kind of change, or like whenever they did go through a certain change, like you were there. But I felt like maybe that was a message here for some people. So, all right. Oh, thank you. Automatic memory. I didn't see the drawing, but that is so sweet. All right, so getting into this reading, we've got 3 piles as per usual, and we have an anchor card, which I'll show you that now. So the anchor card is not a choice, but it's, I feel like we're all intuitive as we tap in here. So the anchor card is like a bottom deck energy, and it goes into all the different piles, and we have the Vision, which I really like this card in this deck. I just do. I think it's a good one. So there's that, if you want to get a good look at it. And then we'll go into the piles. These are our choices. So we got pile number 1 is the Apocalypsis. And pile 2 is the Offering. And pile 3 is the Underworld. Dun dun dun. I don't know, I had to do that. Okay, so those are the 3 piles. And if you haven't yet already, now's a good time to choose your piles. Even if you have, this is the part of the live stream where we just like to take a deep breath together and have a little meditation moment. So I like to close my eyes, just turn the focus internal. I like to put my hands over my heart and just breathe into this moment. And whenever you're ready, you can bring yourself back up into the waking world and open your eyes and choose your pile, or perhaps multiple piles, because I'm sure you're all very lovable people and people might love so many things about you that it can't possibly fit in one pile. So I'll just leave this up for another second here and I'll compassion us. Compassion, compassion, compassion. Yeah, the numbers really are speaking. Nessa just said 1, 2, 3 viewers. That's really cool. And then also Nora I struggle with the Roman numerals sometimes. But I know she said, okay, Apocalypsis is 74 and the Underworld is 48. So there's a lot of numbers today. Maybe numbers are significant. All right. Shall we get started? We're going to do pile number 1, Apocalypsis. What do people love about you? I just heard, what do people love about you? So maybe there's something about the way that you speak. I'm actually getting a lot right now. Okay, well, with this Apocalypsis card here, this to me almost looks like the world energy, because the world card usually has like the 4 fixed signs around it, and then like it's this eye energy. So for some of you, I feel like they really like your eyes, like actually physically your eyes, but I also feel like they like the reflection of something in your eyes. So they may like the way that you see something or the way that you see the world. They might like to People might like to go places with you, you know, even if it's like a museum or something, because you notice like weird, interesting things, or you point out things that people otherwise wouldn't notice. And there feels like a sense of movement around you and a sense of wonder, like with this kind of kaleidoscopy thing. But also, I feel like, yeah, you may have changed their mind on something. I feel like the people really like to speak with you, or just be around you, because it feels, I don't know, maybe like magical or transformative in some way. But I feel like this is definitely the group. Apocalypsis is all about that kind of like apocalyptic moment, but it's like that death card energy, that transformative energy. So you have a real powerful energy actually, but it is also playful and fun. And it's also very warm and welcoming, because I'm noticing in the vision card, like, see how these people are kind of like holding hands, and it feels like really nice and very shared. And, you know, you've got like the mountain up top and the darkness below with the fire. It's like very, like cooperative. And I feel like with this, like I was saying, these 4 fixed signs, I feel like a lot of you are, it's like you connect with a lot of different kind of people, and you may have, I think people, what they love is when you, I don't know if you do this often, or they just love when you do this, because you might just do this very sparingly, but it's like when you speak up, or when you kind of take center stage, because you're in the middle here is what I'm seeing. And then like there's these 4 fixed signs. So some of you might like stand up in situations where it's brave to, because maybe these people are very fixed or immovable, or maybe they have a lot of power, or like you're the person to speak up like in a boss kind of meeting. Callie, thank you so much for the super chat. And people think like it's really brave. Like they watch you do it, and I think it makes them feel a certain way. Also, I feel like you surprise people like with your energy, because you bridge certain things. Like you have this side to you that's very kaleidoscope. It's very colorful. It's very, I don't know, changey, lighthearted, fun. But then you have this like heavy hitting energy. And so I think that some of you have done this. I don't know if you do this necessarily all the time, but where you stand up in the room and you're not afraid to take center stage or to say something here, and it shifts the energy, and it's really, really powerful. And I feel like you have changed something, but also you have a way of bridging, you know, the fixed signs creates a square in astrology. So it's not an easy, they don't necessarily get along, you know, and they're very stubborn energies. But I feel like you have this way of, even the way that you express certain things, where you take the heart of it from the Taurus side, you take the heart of it from the Leo side, and the heart of it from Scorpio, and the heart of it from Aquarius, you know, as examples, and you kind of repackage it to speak to the truth and the values that everybody was kind of trying to get at. But you're able to, I don't know, you're able to speak on all of these things. And I feel like it's not easy to do, but you just kind of do it. This is giving me, I can't remember. Oh, Sigma. Sigma energy is a word that I learned. It's not alpha energy, but Sigmas are kind of alphas, but they don't always, an alpha always has to be in control. They always have to be the center of attention. They always have to be leading, but Sigma doesn't. They're actually really happy to not be leading and to allow other people here to shine. Maybe that's it as well. I feel like this is like a really good leader kind of group, because if people are functioning well, and they're showing that they're very capable and willing to take charge, then I feel like you're cool, like keeping your hands off of it. And, but you're really, yeah, like you're profound, and people I just feel like people have really distinct moments with you where you change their mind and you change the way that they look at life and earth and certain things that are going on around you, but also like you yourself. They've changed the way that they've viewed you yourself. And I think that they notice that you have like many different sides, and they're all like very strong, but they're all very well integrated. It's like your umame. This is a group that's like very umame. And I feel like there's this owl energy. So you see things very clearly. I think that you're very adaptable. They really like that. And you make other people feel that way too, that they are also adaptable and that they see things very clearly, because you point out certain things here as well. There also might be something here to do with music. So I don't know if you make music or if you listen to certain music. Some of you have like introduced people to like certain kinds of music, but they think you're groovy, man. Like people think that you're groovy. I think they also think you have a very like fluid movement. People really like to watch you, and they think that you're not scared of anything. I think a lot of people think that you're not scared of anything. Or like they think that you're really brave and you make them feel really brave. And I think that you're a real comfort, actually, like in times of transition or times that feel like dark or scary, because you see in the dark, or at least this is the way that people view you, because the owl is nocturnal and sees in the dark and very adaptable. And I think you're kind of like, let's not be afraid of this. Let's go into this. Like, and I'm just noticing the trees. This looks like trees from like a scary forest or something. But yeah, and you're, again, like you're very soothing and you're very comforting, because I'm hearing like the cooing of the owl, like the trrr, trrr, like it's, yeah. So let me just pull some more cards here. They definitely like the way that you talk. And especially people that you love. I feel like when you express that you love people, I think people are kind of like, me? Like, me? Oh my gosh, me? I don't know why I'm like going for this. Hold on here. Yeah, I don't know what to do, and please don't go. And again, this is like your guidership. You're like a guide to people. I don't think you try to be. When they don't know what to do, I think you've been a real comfort. And whether you know it or not, I think some people might watch you and they might literally think like, well, what would pile number one do? Pile number one wouldn't be scared of this, or something. Yeah. Please don't go. Okay, there's a lot of people that miss you guys. Like, you have a very distinct energy. And I feel like when you leave, your presence is felt like, or your absence is felt very strongly. People miss you. And I think you might also be the kind of person where I'm just kind of getting like you're an anchor energy in like the room or in a group. And you bring so much to the table. And I think people might not appreciate it like when you're there. But whenever you leave, it's all of a sudden felt like what you were doing or what you brought or what you added to people's life, and they don't want you to go. Yeah, some people might reduce you down to your body, because I do think this is a group that's very attractive, but yeah, and I think that you just have like a depth to you. Yeah, but you have an intensity to your energy as well, and it might like kind of intimidate some people, and so they want to sit on the fence with your energy. They want to kind of go toe to toe to you, and then I think they get intimidated, but then if you leave, then they're like, oh no, like I missed my chance. And I feel like you actually might not know that, because people might not have expressed that to you, but you really make the difference. This is a heavy hitting group. Like you actually make the difference. And I feel like sometimes spirit will actually move you into people's lives without your knowledge, like because they need to shake things up, because they need to change. And they know that. And I feel like some people break their timeline into like before they knew you and after they knew you. They recognize, and again, it might not be till after, when they realize the profound impact that you and your energy, this is a group that carries real energy, have had on their life. And I don't think people really have the ability to express that. Yeah, the high priestess, like the unknown, you're first of all not, you have like an explorer energy, but this feels like of the mind and of the spirit. Again, this is like this, I'm kind of associating this with bravery and courage. Notice how I'm like stuttering with my words. I feel like it can't be put into words. What people love most about you, it cannot be put into words. And I think that if you asked people, like if somebody were like to say, what do you like about pile number one? They'd be like, I mean, it's just, they're so like, you know what I mean? And other people really don't. And I just never really saw, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like that, where it cannot be encapsulated in words. This is very much a group where the total is greater than the sum of its parts. Because if somebody tries to break you down into like, well, I really like this about them, or I really like that about them, it doesn't quite do it justice, because it's the blend. It's the blend of certain traits, and maybe traits that people think are incompatible, but somehow you have like the right touch of like making it very compatible. And again, like maybe you're very intuitive, or you've introduced people to their own intuition, and you might not even know you're doing this. Like I think sometimes people will have like an increased intuition whenever they're around you. But also notice all the books behind her. Some of you are very well read, or like you just have knowledge maybe on like weird stuff, with this being the high priestess, or opposite things here as well too, or things that are typically like maybe taboo or darkened, something like that. Okay, so Luna's scratching on her little post right now, and whenever she does, we always say like, good girl, Luna, good girl. But you know what? I think that what people like about you is that you go your own way, and you're fine like not getting praised. And I actually think a lot of people want your attention, or they seek it out, and they don't even necessarily know why. And I don't even think that you feed or indulge that. I just think that because you just have a very powerful, like profound energy. And I truly feel like this is a group where you're very different. Like people have never met like somebody like you before. It just feels like strange. You feel like strange in a good way, but so loving and so warm and so nurturing. And I think some of you have spent a lot of time alone. Also, people really like your house. If they've ever been to your house, it might be like very calm or very relaxing or very peaceful. Yeah, it's a friendship. It's genuinely a friendship. They love your conversation too. And for some, they just like to watch you in conversation with other people. Yeah, so I think a lot of people feel like you're a wish fulfillment, but it might not be at the time that they're interacting with you. It might be later on. Yeah, I think some of you have like given people ideas or you've helped them to see something here. It's really changed the way their life, I want to say. But it seemed to maybe small in the moment. This like Ace of Wands energy of like, also some of you have a skill though. And the way in which you do whatever that skill is, I feel like is very different. So if you are, there's like a real music energy. I think some of you may be songwriters. If not, you might just want to give it a try. Because I feel like you have like, it almost gives me like the blues, you know? Not that you have the blues, but it's like very soulful, like song, music. Emily, thank you so much. I go my own way, find not being praised, and support others to do the same. Yeah, and there is like that sense of comfort and that sense of security. But whatever skill that you have, and again, for some of you, it's like the way, like the kind of music. You know, I was listening to Enya last night, and I feel like this is maybe why. And it was that song, Bodicha. And actually, I didn't realize, I hope I'm saying that right. That's the goddess from like the Celtic lore. I didn't realize that. I didn't put that together, but it's that song. It's like, it's it's been sampled like so many times, but you know, it's that she is so interesting and unique in her music, and she's inspired so many people, and it's a different kind of like vibe, you know, but it's very deep and soulful, and I feel like there's something like that about like something that you do, but it's, again, you're not afraid to go your own way. This isn't like you got signed by a record deal and now they're trying to make you be the next, like their cookie cutter mold. It's like, no, they saw something that you were doing and it was really interesting or really different or really like unique or something, and they're just kind of letting you run with it, sort of a thing. Yeah, that's that one. Bodice, yeah. She lives in a castle alone with her cars. It's a whole ass vibe. She does. Or her cats, right? Is that what you're saying? The cats, yeah. Yeah, it's a whole ass vibe. Yeah, and I think people feel very safe around you because it's like sometimes like schemers. Okay, schemers actually respect you as well too. It's something that they kind of love about you. I feel like they take some kind of, you know, as they would do, some kind of gross, perverted pleasure of trying to like pull one over on you. But I think you also illuminate some kind of, I just heard possibilities. You illuminate possibilities, but also like negative people that are around. Again, I don't think you necessarily try to. And for some of you, it's just because something about your energy, just being in proximity to other people's energy, it kind of makes them less credible or less believable when they're not, I don't know, when they're not the real deal kind of a thing. Yes. Okay. Some of you, okay. How do I explain this? I remember like being really, really young, and the guy that I was dating at the time, I kind of had to think to myself, like, have I ever seen him around other men? Because I remember bringing him into a group of like my people, and a lot of them were guys that were like around my age, and he was so different, and it like made me see him very differently. Like he just behaved in a different way, and I was like, have I ever seen him around guys? But I did. It was just his group of friends. I feel like you might be that for people where they bring certain people around you, and then they see a certain side to you, and they're like, huh, has that always been there? I don't know that I've seen that person before. And I feel like it's helpful, whatever it is. Yes, you bring clarity, but you also bring happiness and joy. Like it's giving gargoyle, to be honest, like protector energy, but it's like coming from your energy. Yeah. People like to see you win. You like to see other people win. And, yeah. Also, I think some of you like, people watch your conversations. Okay. I don't know if you realize that, but if you cut people off, or if people watch the way that you interact with certain people, and it gives people a different perspective. Like I'm really getting that. So if you don't speak to somebody, people take note of that. People take note of that, and they're like, I wonder why. And then they start to realize why. Okay. What else do people love about pile number 1? Never knew I'd take it's giving gargoyle as a compliment, but it is. It's, I feel like you don't compete. And I also feel like you don't take the bait. And people really love that as well. You confuse people. You really do. You confuse people in a good way. You just go your own way. You really do. With the sun energy, you're not afraid to say what you think. You're not afraid to believe what you believe. Like you go your own way. And this is really beautiful. This is just really, really beautiful. I think some people have, like, there's a real sense of people just watching you because maybe they just don't understand you, but also, like, maybe, again, you didn't take the bait or you didn't take the temptation because maybe, I think I'm just getting a sense of, like, maybe there was, like, a guy or a girl or a person who could have, I don't know, was trying to tempt you and they were like, look, I got my cow and I got this cake. And you were like, I'm really all the way set on that, actually. Yeah, because you recognize something here was like, you're different. You're just so different. You respond to things very differently. You're so strong. People love that you are so strong. And there is just this sense of like less chaos happens around you. And again, I think this is something that people might not know or appreciate until all of a sudden you're not there anymore. But they kind of like take it for granted. I feel like this is a group that kind of does get taken for granted. People watch you, man. Like they sneak around on your social media. They also with the books again, like maybe people want to know, like they want to know what you know. People want to be like you. I think a lot of people try to get your attention here. Okay, so I just want to know what else people love though. I think you also have a very playful side. And again, there's a sense of like these really weird people, like just they find you to be a challenge because you don't respond to their typical like games in the way that you break the mold. This is a group that very much breaks the mold. What do people love about pile one? Oh my gosh. Okay. So with this Amaterasu, some of you could be really funny because she gets like lured out of the cave and whoever's doing the luring her out is like making her laugh. So I feel like for a lot of you, you actually help make other people laugh and connect them with their own self-esteem. Like, come on out. Like, it's not so bad out here, you know, and you really pull people out and you kind of help them to feel good again or safe again, like in a certain space. And also Athena is just such a powerhouse energy. I mean, she's the goddess of war, but again, she doesn't take the bait. You have an elevated perspective here. Yeah. This is kind of, yeah, and you're very abundant. And maybe some of you are like nature lovers or you kind of just blend in. You're so fine, like just being yourself, blending into the background, getting no attention. You really are. And you're very protective and you have a way of kind of piecing together very diverse things. Yeah, and you have a lot of wisdom. I really don't think you understand the profound impact that you have on people. I also think that there's some people that are stuck. They feel stuck in certain positions in their life, in certain partnerships or something like that. And they maybe have given you wisdom, but also you've helped give them wisdom. Maybe that's the person that you've turned down. I get the sense that some of you have turned down somebody here. Yeah. And then it's like moved on. So for some of you, you went through some kind of breakup and people recognize that as being powerful or healthy. Like, oh, well, would I have been able to leave that situation or something like that? And then like you seem to have like gone with the flow. Maybe you went on a vacation or something and people are just noticing that. So that could be the sense of people watching you where maybe you've had a breakup or you've left. This could even be a breakup with a work environment or something and you've left and you've gone with the flow and it's giving beach vibes, like relaxed, casual, while they feel kind of stuck. And so I feel like you left a situation where people kind of feel stuck in that situation and they feel like maybe it wouldn't be wise to leave, but they saw you leave and they saw the way that something works out for you. So that's what they love. You kind of do the impossible or you show people the impossible. Your power, you're like raw power and you're healthy and you're vital. You have a purpose. And I think you also give people the sense that they have a purpose too. And also like sometimes when you get mad, it's like a volcano where it provides like a lot of fertility here and leadership. Again, I think that people kind of watch you in a room to see how you respond to certain things and it gives them permission to also express the way that they feel about it. Because I don't even think these people feel like they need to agree with you. I think that you just show that it's, hey, we're going to kind of say how we feel. We're going to do it in a way that is, you know, not for the wrong reasons, but we're going to do that. And people just really appreciate that about you. And I don't know that there's much else to say about this reading because I feel like you're really beloved actually. This is a powerhouse, heavy-hitting energy. And I also think like you know when to wrap it up. I could learn that from you. But you know like, you know, what else is there to say? And I feel like you don't toot your own horn and you're really noble as well. You go about doing things the right way. You don't take shortcuts, and you have some kind of wish fulfillment. I feel like some people are just really intimidated by your power. So if you've been in situations where I think some people have tried to levy this apocalypsis energy at you, and you put the game down, flipped it, and reversed it in some kind of way, or you phoenixed up out of this. I feel like you went on to have like a wish fulfillment, and then these people now see you as a wish fulfillment, but they're like, what makes her tick? Or what makes him tick? How did they do that? Some people here legitimately tried to like destroy you in some way. And then all of a sudden, this is giving Pemisambhava, which Pemisambhava tamed all the demons, like in the Tibetan countryside or whatever, like, which is like the nature spirits. And then they were very like protective and fiercely loyal. I feel like you have that. You probably don't even know that you have that, where I'm hearing people say you forever changed me. I think they set out to try to fuck something up for you, possibly for some of you in your job, ruthless. I feel like some people have treated you ruthlessly, and it's because they felt, I just heard disrespected. Maybe people felt disrespected by you, but it's because they didn't understand your energy, that you just have this no nonsense powerhouse energy. You're like, I don't understand why we can't say what we feel. If we're saying it truthfully, but in a respectful way, like, I just think people are intimidated by you. And I think you're kind of destined for leadership or something. So people feel threatened by that because they want to be the leader, even though they're not next to you, they're not fit for it. So instead of accepting that or trying to get better at their skills or something, I think they've tried to destroy you. And again, you've adapted. You're really adaptable. You've taken that in your stride. And so now people want to partner that with you. Or now it's like after the fact, people see and understand your vision. Not just for whatever it was that you were a part of, which could have been like maybe you were in a partnership with this person. And this is giving like your partner would try to compete with you because you're so powerful. I feel like that would have confused you because you're a lover, not a fighter. And to you, you're like, yeah, I'm strong. You're strong. We're strong together. This like little D energy you're given it's not where it's at. Like, get some self-esteem, it's like very much like that. So this, they get it now. And I feel like once they get it, and that could be in a partnership, this could be at a workplace, this could be some kind of project that you were a part of. So I feel like people are just intimidated by your energy and they don't understand it. And I think that's heightened if you are a woman. I also just heard if you are a Black woman, or if you're an immigrant, or if you don't, if you speak with some kind of accent or something, but you speak like multiple languages or something, there's something that is like a display of power. Okay, who said this? It was like, where is she taking it? What's she gonna do with it? Princess Diana, where it's like, sometimes a woman will have this power and it feels like they can't control it, or it's like, what's she going to do with it? Where is she taking it? That's people. I think people are suspicious of you, and it's just because you have this, they're suspicious of you, and they're suspicious of your vision because they might think that you're trying to disrupt the status quo. I don't think you're trying to disrupt the status quo for the sake of disrupting it. I think that you have a vision, and I think that it's very complete. And I think whatever it is, this is giving like the Carl Jung quote of, if something's going to reach its branches up to heaven, it also has to reach its branches down to hell. And I just think that you're very balanced. And so I think that you just want the truth to prevail. You want things to be healthy and balanced. And where is not, I think that you're not scared to just say that. And I think people misunderstand that energy, and I think it's because people project on you a bit, and they're like, well, I'm out here for power, and that's why I'm trying to spit in your bean curds, and that's why I'm trying to kick over everything that you do. And you're like, that's not what I'm doing though. And people don't get that. I'm strongly getting that people, that's possibly why people watch you as well, is because they tried to destroy you in some way, and then you left, and then you're great now. And you're better off without them. And then now all of a sudden these people want to partner with you. Now all of a sudden these people understand what you were trying to say, and they get it now. You're like music to their ears. And I think that spirit kind of gives these people some kind of apocalypse moment too. Some people like your nails. Yeah, people feel like you were the higher cup and they didn't even realize it. And this is in a lot of different arenas of your life where you were bringing this kind of apocalypse energy. I feel like it's giving angel of judgment a little bit, like where you were the nice way. I think some of you might not even know that you do that. Like God kind of works through you in that way where it's like you were the nice option. But yeah. And I also think people try to lure you back, like after the fact, into relationships, into a part, but this is you're the temperance. You tempered out after some kind of ending. You were disrespected and you just temper out because you find the truth, and some of you intuit the truth and it blows people's mind because obviously you're here on this tarot channel. So anyways, I think I could keep going with this group forever and ever and ever because you really are just profound. It's giving umame, like people just, you're a cycle breaker. You are a code breaker. Yeah. I've definitely felt like that angel of death and judgment. Yeah, I'm really getting that. So anyways, I'm going to leave that there because I feel like I could go on and on about this pile. And I think this is part of it too, because it's like I'm just kind of sussing your energy as I go. And I feel like that's what people like about you because you're like a puzzle. And like they just keep getting to know more and they're never bored. And I think for some of you, like there's a partnership energy that you could have gotten into where a guy's like always cheating on you because, you know, he's just a stallion. Not that he's a weakling that doesn't have any self-discipline or values or principles and is dead in the heart space. Not that, you know, he's just untamable. And here you are just forever changing, actually. He's like, I just get bored. And you're like, that's on you. Like, I'm never bored. And so you're always like just shifting and changing. And I feel like people have that experience with you where they're like, you're totally different than you once were. And it's like, keep up, you know? Yeah. I think people realize kind of how shallow they've been and how chintzy, you know, that they've been in regards of certain takes that they have. So you change people for the better, pile number one. And even though it might hurt in the moment and it might suck in the moment because you're sent to people at times when like they need a different perspective, something needs to change. And that's, you're sent to individuals, I think, but you're also sent to like groups or you have been in the past. I'm not saying that's every situation that you get in, but yeah. And I think it sucks in the moment or people don't understand or they're scared. It's kind of like going over a waterfall. That's what they think. They're like, you know, and then they do, and then it's fine. And they can't ever imagine that never happening. But then also I feel like people feel weird and they feel the deficit because it's like you're not around to give those good blessings to, you know, to pour back into, for them to say thank you for all that you've done. I think you got the shit storm with a person. They're better for having gone through that with you. And then you've like moved on. And it leave some kind of deficit for people to kind of figure out how they're going to navigate that. But anyways, that was pile number one. We're going to compassion this space. Compassion. Goes down, bringing in the towers left and right. We're just going to spray the rose. All right, I'm just going to take a little drink. I'll put the piles up and nice. I'm so honored that I'm umami. All right, so we just did pile number one if you're joining us, and we're getting ready to move on to pile number two because we like order around here. We could go to pile number three if we wanted to, and I just want that acknowledged.
You could also just do the whole thing backwards at some point.
Oh my gosh.
You could just skip 1 through 3 and go for like 5, 13, and 27.
Oh my gosh. Okay. A little gloss too. Yay. All right. So there you are. So now we're going to do pile number two, which is the offering. Pile number two. Some of you are very generous. I'm just getting that in this pile. Interesting. Okay. What am I getting from this? Well, with the Knight of Pentacles that just came out, I feel like a lot of you there's something here to do maybe with your work or like with your work ethic and actually how routined you are. Oh my gosh, I was just making that joke about like going into pile three. And maybe some of you are funny about that where I just feel like you're very, you hold a good space for people in terms of structure and routines, and it keeps everything flowing and it keeps everything kind of on track and organized. And I feel like you actually do this in your own life, and in some way you've gone like very independent. This is a group that very much like has a goal, and you are good at goal setting, and you're good at like, you know, achieving a smaller goal and another goal and another goal to like meet an overall goal. And I think it's actually, again, really inspiring to watch you. This is kind of similar to pile number 1 because I feel like you carry a lot of weight, possibly at work. And also you're very humble. Like you're not a person that thinks that certain tasks are like beneath you or like anything like that. And I think some of you too, some of you are so busy and you're so focused on what you're doing that you don't even realize when somebody, I always kind of get this like, come at me, bro, like with this card. So somebody here could have even been like, come at me. And you didn't even notice because you're like really busy and I think that you're very dedicated to whatever it is that you are trying to do or trying to accomplish. You could be an artist, you could be some kind of like engineer, somebody who builds things, but you're really focused and people know that you're going places. If you haven't already, like you're going from the Knight to the Queen of Pentacles. And yeah, I actually am getting the sense with this pile. What am I getting? Okay, because this is what people love about you. There's somebody here that's like watching you though, and it's like they're watching this progress that you're making, and they feel like they have a decision to make about responsibility because maybe you're leaving. Maybe you're leaving a certain place. So yeah, I don't know. That's kind of, it is what people love about you, but there's a desire to like hold you actually. And I think that's like some kind of twisted love energy because they're like jealous or they want to like possess you or something that you're doing or, yeah, but you're really ambitious, I feel like, but this is like grounded. You're grounded and you are ambitious and you have some kind of like long-term goal here. There's also with this offering, this looks to me like watercolor paints that are kind of like blended and mixed together. And so something here about like childlike nature, but I also think that you're very giving. This is a group where I feel like you could do some kind of contract work for somebody and it helps bring about their vision. People think that you're a really great person to partner with. There's a real appreciation of something here that you do for work and your skill set. I also think that you have multiple skill sets here and you're really humble. And I don't actually think that you know what you're worth in this. So maybe some of you need to charge more for what you're doing. Or Catherine, thank you so much for the super chat. Hugs. Okay, so what do people love about you? Yeah, pile number 2, I just want to say this. Like, just be careful that people don't try to use you because I feel like people try to plug you in to whatever it is that they're doing. And some people, that might work for you because like I said, you might have a skill set that you're a consultant and that literally is what it is. So if you do something like that, people think that it's very seamless to work with you. You don't give people like a headache. It's like you intuit what it is that they want and what it is that they're trying to say, and you immediately understand the important bits and the priority bits. This is a kind of intelligence that it is intellect, but it's also intuitive, and people again take it for granted because it is actually like a tall order where people don't have to be so literal with you and do a lot of hand holding. You just sort of pick up what they mean because you run things through a synthesizer in your brain of like, well, what would a human being need? And you're really good at that. And also with the timing, like you keep yourself on a really good schedule. People love to work with you, dude. Like you're just such a team player. You're very cooperative. You do like hard work too. Like you do the brunt of it kind of a thing. And people know that you're going somewhere. And you also help them to be victorious in whatever it is that they are doing as well. And I think people think you don't get enough credit. I also think this is a group that doesn't really want the credit. I think, this is the kind of group that likes more, I think, to work behind the scenes. I think you had a real satisfaction about what it is that you're doing. And I don't think you really understand the difference that you bring, but that is something that people love about you because there's a lot of just like punctual, but you break the mold in some way. You're very refreshing. And I can't stress this enough. People think that you're going really far. You break the mold. You could come into people's life like because there was some kind of accident that they need you to fix, or it's like once people get a taste of your energy, they're addicted. And they can get addicted to the service that you provide as well. And they could think that it's like a standard, but it's not. Like this is excellence. Like whatever it is that you bring, this is excellence. But I think certain people might get addicted to that and they might ride you really hard. And so I think this love energy can be twisted as like a demand energy or, yeah. And I think you might have people that are really bullshit that are actually, I just keep getting this. Pile number 2, you really don't know how special you are. Genuinely, you don't. And I think it's because you're more of a behind the scenes person and you are very disciplined and you are very routined and you really are that way. But I think a lot of people who want success or who want accolade or something like that, they look at you and they're jealous. They're really envious and they're trying to like control you or end you or destroy you. And I think some of you might have even helped those people is what I'm getting. Like they could have had an accident or they could have had a really difficult time and then you've come in after that and you've just focused on what it is, whatever it is that you do best, and you've really helped them, and it is changing them. But some people don't want to like you, actually. Pile number 2, they don't even want to look at you as a person. They just want to look at you as like a machine or something. Miramari, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, and so I think they can get really bullshit with your energy, or they want to have a pissing contest with you, but it's like it's giving marketing. Like they want to outmarket you in order to try and usurp you, but you're not interested in marketing. You're just interested in doing what it is that you do. And I think that you trust a lot that the right kind of people are going to see that about you and see that about this other person or these other people who would kind of, that your focus is in the right place. But I think you probably could use to market yourself, a little bit more. There's a lot of work energy. Okay. Anything else? What do people love about pile number 2? People love most. There's a depth here. People, this is in a similar way. People don't know what they love about you because they understand the finished project. They understand like how you show up in a space. You're very responsible, that work ethic and everything, but you have a depth. And you are proficient at what it is that you do, and you're able to like roll with the punches or solve a lot of intricate problems or something because you have a depth, a real depth of knowledge. And also for some of you, it's like something that you've been through, like a personal harrowing experience or something. And so you know how important it is for people to show up and for people to be accountable or reliable or something. And they don't even realize that that's what they love about you, but that is what they love about you. There's a real not seeing you clearly with this group. It's different than pile number 1 though, because pile number 1, it was like ephemeral. It was like they couldn't quite understand. With this group, it's like they don't want to see. They don't want to understand. Yeah, you're Venus, actually. So what people actually love about you is that you are Venus. You are very creative. You are very well-rounded. This is giving the Empress energy, but people don't know that you're the Empress like right away. And I don't think you know that you're the Empress, because I think that you kind of, maybe you're going through a really difficult time, or you're just going through a time where you have to be very disciplined or something, but you really are Venus. You're creative, you are flourishing, things grow around you, and you're very giving, and you're very giving. I feel like this is a group that's very charitable with your time, with your energy, with your skill set, with your money. And you're also very sweet. And you're not hiding anything. You haven't scammed people as well. Because you may come into people's lives where they feel, and this is even in like a love arena or a personal arena where people feel like they were scammed. Yeah, people are very jealous of something that you're building or that you have built, and the luxuries that you have around you. And you might not even see it as luxuries because this is something that you very much, it's giving that you tend your field kind of a thing. Like, yes, you have a very beautiful, lush garden that maybe all your neighbors see when they walk by, but you're out there weeding and planting seeds and moving plants in and out. Like, you very much work for what it is that you have. They love your body. Let's see here. What are they? There's so much. I can't. I think Alex is closing the window. Sorry if you guys can hear that. But we're talking about like tending your garden, and that's a person like mowing the lawn. But people really watch you from afar. And maybe you are going through a time where you feel like you don't have many friends or you don't have like a social interaction. But again, it's because you have you're working a lot or you're going to school. But people really do watch you. People don't know you very well, Pile 2. I feel like, or they don't care to know you. But people do see you and they want you to like open up or engage with them. And they try to get your attention because they feel like they can build with you. I hope this is making sense. I don't know. Um, oh my gosh. Okay, so people really try this. This is funny. People, you're so unpretentious. Pile number 2, you are deeply, deeply unpretentious. You are very humble. And I think actually you're funny. You have really good timing with things, but people don't see this for like, I don't know why. Like, I really think, I don't know. I think you're probably very introverted, or at least like you handle yourself very well socially, but I think that you are like maybe very introverted. And there's people here who are trying to get your attention. There's people here who I think want to date you, or they want to offer you a job, or they want to plug you into something that they're doing. There's also somebody here who's trying to compete with you. They maybe are seeing people try to get your attention or something, and again, you're not like pulled by that, and they feel like, oh, how dare you, you should be paying attention to me, or something here like that. There's a whole host of things that are going on around attention to do with you. You have very strong attention, like you have very strong focus on your goals, on your routine, on whatever it is that you're doing. It's almost immovable. People don't know how to take that, and they know that you're good at what it is that you do, but they want to plug you into their own vision. And I think this is on a personal level. And so if you are very alone, I think that you've learned to be that way. If you're very blocked off, I think you've learned to be that way. But again, I think you're very social. And I think some of you even have really good timing. And that's in the things that you do. I just heard schmegully as well. I don't know, like with dance, or like there's some kind of fluidity in your body. But it's also, there's something where it's like not the time. I don't know. I think you've learned to be cold and maybe routined and blocked off, because I don't think you're comfortable with the kind of attention that gets drawn to you. And I think you sense that people want to use you for things. And I think you've learned that the hard way. And so you really are this like beautiful Venus energy, but you've learned some kind of protection mechanism of like, I think some of you sometimes try to give the signal of like, don't look over here. You know, I'm busy doing this. What do you need? You know? And people you're kind of like, what do you need? You know, because I think people are they try to get in, you know, and yeah, this is, somebody just says it takes work to be beautiful on the outside and in. This is definitely a group that's beautiful on the inside and the outside. You really are Venus. People know that. They try to get in on your juicy energy. And I feel like I'm seeing Venus kind of like wrapped in Saturn. And so that's you, this kind of brown Saturn energy. Like you are doing that because you have to protect yourself. So again, but people don't know what they're seeing, but they know that they want in on you. They think that things are very peaceful around you. It's like people don't want to disturb you, but they do. They see that you are beautiful, peaceful, and like undisturbed. Things grow around you. And they want in on that. And I think you feel that people want to take from you, and that people are mean to you or bullshit or like petulant when they don't get like your time or attention. And it's because they're not mature. I think you very much want somebody mature. And again, who matches your energy, that's very like responsible and does what they say that they're going to do. And that's when you want to share your Venus energy with somebody. And that's when they can get on that Venus side of you. And people do know it's there in some way. They do know. And I think some people feel overlooked, or they feel like judged by you preemptively. Like they take it personal. They take the way that you are like very personal. When I think you have had to protect yourself. Because you're very Venus. This is a group that's very Venus. You're a Venus. I'm your fire, your desire. Yeah, like your people's fire, your people's desire. I feel like people really like your legs for some reason. Or like maybe you have really smooth skin. People find you to be really attractive and very seductive, but it's like you're not trying to be. And it heightens the seduction here. I think this is a group where if you look up from what it is that you're doing and you make like some kind of personal, people live for that. First of all, they really love that, but they also feel like special. You might notice a change in people where they're like, oh, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. What just happened? See, this is why I don't talk to people. This is why I close the shutters. Okay. Like I just feel like people really want in on you. And that's why this is a group that has to beat them off with a stick, actually. I think on some level, like, yeah. And I think you feel like something needs to change because you want to make connections with people. You're just so scared because people bum rush you. I feel like this is a group that people like bum rush your energy. Like whenever you crack the door a little bit, then you're like you close it, and then you bolt it, and you like hyperventilate into a paper bag for like 45 minutes straight until you can calm yourself back down. And people don't see that about you. And I think they would love and respect that about you. People idealize you as well. So this is a group where I feel like this is more of like a heads up energy of like what people love about you. I think this is a group who would be very confused about their treatment because people idealize you. So what do people love about you? They love the idea of you. They love the fantasy of you. They love the thought of like building with you, sharing with you. But I don't think these people have cared. They have not been soft to you, and they've not had positive or healthy social manners when it comes to you because they just want to bum rush in on your energy. Because I think a lot of these people, and you would feel this, they haven't bothered to ask you what you want, what your vision is, because this is a group with a vision. This is a group with a goal. This is a group that does not want to be pulled away from their goal because you have a routine and you are trying to get good at a skill. You are trying to build something in your life. And I definitely think it's security. I think security is actually a love language for this group because maybe you didn't have it. Maybe, maybe you grew up in a house where it's like the water was always getting shut off. The lights were always getting shut off. Maybe it was like army brat energy where you had to like move around. Like, I think security is a love language, giving and receiving. And so you're trying to do your part here. You're trying to dot your I's and cross your T's. And because of that, things flourish around you. But I think a lot of people idealize you, but they do not have a respect for where you've been. Because like I said, you've really been, I feel like this group's been through it in some way. And you've had to climb up out of that. You kind of feel on an existential level that you could just backslide. And I think there's people here at the bottom of this pit. The pit. You fell into the pit. We fell into the pit. We all fell into the pit. I feel like that's you. Like, this is a pit, okay? And we're trying to climb out of it, okay? And we've got a 1-step, 2-step, red step, blue step, like just climbing up out of this. And you feel like if you don't want to lose your footing and mudslide, back and like, you feel that on an existential level, whether it's true or not, because you know how, there's this real energy of like you breathing into a paper bag with this pile. Because this is like, it's giving PTSD, but it's, on some emotional memory level of like, this is a group that's been down to the wire before in some way, or you felt it when your parents were in some way, and people. So that's why I think this is why you have this beautiful heart. You're very giving. And this is this like childhood memory of like, oh, it's all this paint, but then it all kind of like runs together and then it creates that like brownie black, and you're like, well, now I can't paint my vision. That's what it is. This is. So people don't know what they love about you. That might be tough, but you're immensely lovable. And I think you know that. I actually think that you do know that. I think that you might get lonely. I think that you might get sad. I think that you might wish that somebody can match your energy. This is definitely the group that wishes somebody could match their fucking energy. Be an adult. Like, can you have fun and also be an adult at the same time? Can you walk and chew gum at the same time? And to you, that's not a superpower. But I think there's a lot of people that look at you as though it is, or they look at you and they don't see what it is that they are looking at. I think they take it very personal, and I don't think that they should. There's past life connections here. Like, this pit, in some way, this is a group in a pit. And it's past life related. And I think that you know that. And you're busting through like karmas or something. Or you're trying to, I don't know. It just gives like the crabs in a bucket that are like trying to pull you down. And in a weird way, I'm sorry, group 2. I'm so sorry. I feel like in a weird way, that's people showing that they love you. It's like a very twisted, confused, bound up version of love. And I think it's affected you because I think that people don't see you clearly, and you kind of know that. And I think that you've received poor treatment or intense treatment, and you're not asking for that. I think a lot of you would like to be left the fuck alone. I think that a lot of you want like a person and a solid group of friends that match your energy. You want to see them progressing in their life. You want to see them taking themselves seriously, and not being a slob. Some of you have roommates that are just like slobs or something. You're like, I just want you to do the dishes and for me to do the dishes. You want that. And then you feel like, and then we can all relax and have fun, but I think this is a group where you're like, it's hard for me to want to be your friend when you make my life harder, or when you bum rush me, the moment that I give you attention. People are really needy, but they feel like you're blocking off from a relationship, but I feel like you're blocking off from unfairness. You're blocking off from people not matching your energy, actually. Yeah, there's a lot of evil eye on this group. This is a funny group because I had to wade into this. And I feel like that's what people really like about you, is because you're giving these signals of like, don't look over here, I'm busy, things are brown, but things start to like bloom around you. You're very interesting. I also think that you're very beautiful in a way that's maybe very put together and like clean or like simple, or you have a process. I don't know. And you take care of yourself and things around you. And so it seems almost like it's kind of like, don't look over here. But then it's this juicy Venus energy. Like, this is definitely the Empress, or you're building yourself into the Empress. Emily, thank you so much for the super chat. It is definitely possible for both pile 1 and 2 to resonate. And I'm actually kind of getting that because it could be the same kind of energy where people, they don't know what they have with you until you're gone. And people don't know what sense to make with your energy until you're gone. And I think you've had a lot of people around you that struggle to be self-aware, because they're so fixated on you, and they're like, that's my success and that's my vision, and you're like, you see in the dark, and you're very self-protective here, and you're very adaptable, very skillful, but this is also very grounded and very pragmatic energy, very earthy energy. Yeah. And this is very much a group who would rather be single than be in an unequitable situation, where somebody's just mooching off of your energy. They're not focused on what they're bringing to the table. They don't vacuum sometimes. They don't, run the errands sometimes. They don't cook sometimes. Like, you would just rather not, because I think you do bad all by yourself. This is a group that does bad all by themselves. And you would like to have that partnership, but you want it to be an actual partnership. This is very much a group that's learned that any idiot that can take you to dinner on a Saturday night is not a partner. Sometimes being alone is better than being with someone, and you've learned that the hard way, because you don't want anybody to sink you down. Somebody's got to match you step for step, and that's what you're looking for, and that's what you're screening for. To be honest, you're screening friends for this, you're screening partners for this, jobs. Although I feel like in your job you carry a lot of weight, and you might not even mind carrying a lot of weight, some of you. But I don't know that you get paid enough for what you do. But I think for some of you that's fine, because you're making things work, and you have some kind of future thing, and you're like, well, I'm putting it's like you're paying your dues. You're like, I'm putting my time in over here because I'm going to go do this thing over here. And once I hit this, this is very much somebody with like a structure and a goal and a 10-year plan. You're like, once I hit this milestone, then I'm going to go have an adventure. And I actually do think this is a very adventurous group and very creative group. And you might have done really interesting things, but you're not reckless. This is not a reckless group. I just heard feckless as well. You're not reckless and you're not feckless. You're so strong. And I think that you really keep crazy away from you, or people that want to bring this drama into your life. So I think a lot of people want to latch onto you like you're a life preserver. D-Love, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah. Okay, so the good news is I do feel like there's an emperor energy, though, that's either watching you now, or spirits like, trust this process is what I want to say. Trust this process. If nobody's matching your energy, don't feel like anything's wrong, because I feel like spirit's helping you to pass through a certain transitionary phase, and there is an emperor that's waiting for you. And either this person already sees you and they like this. They see all of this about you. They see that you kind of match them. I feel like they're kind of, again, it's giving matching energy because we have Libra and Aries here. It's very much giving that, and they see this like very clearly. And I feel like this is a person who's going to like let you come to them. They're going to let you like sniff around what they have to offer you, because I feel like a lot of these people just want to take from you and want to continue to suck. But they see this, they see your strength, and they're like very much biding their time. But also you may have like a healthy, well-aspected emperor, and you may also have like a very manipulative person. And for some of you, this is like your dad, or it's like somebody in your family, because there's this energy around you that really wants to hold you back, that really wants to pull you down, and I think you would be aware of that. If this is your pile, you would definitely be aware of that. Yeah, there's a choice here. of which way do I go. And I think one way leads to the emperor. And I think it's you being the emperor and having control over your own existence in some way. And that leads you to an emperor that matches you. And it's very copacetic. And the other is there's some kind of strategic a-hole that maybe has been biding their time to offer you something, but it's manipulative. And again, so maybe with this group, leave the past in the past. And I think that you're just going to be fine. Yeah, and use your intuition, because I also think that this is a very intuitive group, but this is a group that may have taken some time to realize that you are intuitive or to build that up, and your intuition this is a group I feel like you'd have to run your intuition up through your logic. And that's good, because if something doesn't check out in the 3D, let me keep my mouth shut. If something doesn't check out for you in the 3D, right? Meaning research studies back it up. You can see it with your eyes. You can feel it with your hands. All of those things. Anything you would pick up with your intuition that's also correct, it's going to check out with that side of things. Okay? It's not going to be in conflict with that. And so I feel actually this group, when you get your intuition on point and functioning, it's going to be very powerful, because you're going to run it right up through that left side of your brain. You're going to say, this is what I intuitively feel. Does this check out with 3D reality? Because it's going to transcending is not the same thing as bypassing 3D reality. And so this is also a group that may kind of keep spirituality at a certain distance, because you don't respect a lot of the thoughts that you hear expressed, because you hear a lot of people that are maybe espousing delusion, or they're saying, well, it looks like this, but it's actually this, or something like that. The Bayou, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm an observer at the moment. I'm looking at actions only. Yeah. So, and I think, for some of you, like you are very much not afraid of going your own way. And this is also a group, discernment. This group has such strong and healthy discernment. You're not just you have a filter. People actually do love that about you. You have a filter when you take in information, and when you're I also feel like you're quiet and you're kind of reserved. You have that filter as you take in information, but also as information leaves you, you have a filter. This is a refined energy, and you may have an elegance. And for some of you, again, you may have had to work up from poverty or something, but you, in your soul, you're a very elegant person. And as you get more structure and stability, because you will have, I think you already know, there's energies that are trying to pull you down. But once you get out of this, I feel like your elegance, your refinement, it's only going to grow. Yeah. And people can't help but see you as a threat. So there is some overlap here between this and pile number 1. But there's a lot for people to know about you, but you're not. I think that, you know what this is? It's I think people have to learn how to love you. So that's why this question's tricky for pile number 2. And this has nothing to do with you. And I think that it might hurt you, because you actually do know that. People have to learn not to control you, not to try to own you, because you've been around people that look at you in the past and they're like, I must control that. I must own that. I must plug into that, because that's how I'm going to get my vision and my success. And it's really because you have one. But then at the same time, these people don't really give a fuck to ask you what your vision is, what you want out of life. And if they do, it's only because they can manipulate you to disable that vision. It's violent. I just saw them grab you down and then break your legs and break your arms, so you can't climb up, and then you can't. It's really. And this is vicious, and it is controlling, and it's not love. And so I feel like this is a group that's had to learn, maybe even karmically, what love is and what love isn't. Because actually, I think this is a group that's very sweet, and you're very giving, maybe too giving, and you're too sweet, and people have taken advantage of that. I just saw somebody bite onto this little, that looks like a kid's arm. And also this is a very sensitive part. And I just saw something bite into it. And so I think you've been through a lot of situations where it's this is very victim, rescue, persecutor, where it's you don't mind helping people, and you would also help in that reciprocal way, but it's not victim, rescue, persecutor, where it's your identity or anything. And I think you've been bitten, and I think that you just know better. So karmically, I think you've had to learn what love is and what love isn't. And I think you're also mirroring to these people what love is and what that love isn't, because it's not control, and it's not whatever the fuck these people are trying to do to you. And I think that you've had to learn that. And it's you're digging your way out of this maybe very karmic group of people. So, and again, people do actually, that's real love, because real love appreciates that about somebody. And it kind of ties in with pile number 1, where it's that's that apocalypse energy of oh shit, I realized that I treated you very wrong. I said that I loved you, but love liberates with Maya Angelou. Love loves you even if it can't control you. I love you if you're here. I love you if you're across town. I love you if you're a Buddhist or a Muslim. I love you if you are wearing blue or orange. Like, whatever it is, like, I love you. And love liberates. And it doesn't try to bind or control. And that's not what's gone on here. So I think if and when these people can get it, they will actually learn to appreciate that. And that's when they're going to love you. And I think a lot of these people, their karmic test is they have to love you from a distance, and they have to love you without being able to control you, and without being able to benefit from you, and without being able to profit off of you. And I think these people, it's giving like entitlement. They feel entitled to your energy. And I think, again, some of you have been very giving, and just because you give something to somebody once does not mean that you have to keep giving to them. And I think some people feel entitled instead of just grateful, every time that you show up. She Creature, thank you so much for the super chat. Yeah, so this one's a tough one, but I feel like karmically, this is kind of a sticky situation for you. And this would be a group that I think you've had to be alone for a long period of time, because it's kind of like you getting rid of the hangers on to your energy. Like if you went through a pricker bush and you got a lot of prickers that were like trying to, cling on to you, it's like you're getting that off of you in some way. And the way to get it off of you, Saturn's kind of a cold planet. So it's like to be very cold and to be like, you've had to be focused. And I think Spirit gave you kind of like a German Shepherd, some of you as well. Very smart, helpful, and likes a job. I feel like this is a group that's like, I don't mind going on the hike with you if I can have a little backpack and I'll carry your water bottle over here and then I have a water bottle over here. It's very much like that. It's cute. It's cute energy, but it's loyal. It's sharp, it's on it. But I think that this is a group that would have to be alone, I think, for a long period of time. And this is just karmically, and it is protection, because the people that are around you aren't the best people, and they're gonna wound you, I think. And so just trust that process. And there is an emperor on the other side. The emperor is you, first of all, but I feel like this is a group that all you've ever wanted is just for somebody to match your energy. And you really don't think it's a tall order. You are really like, I don't understand like why you can't brush your teeth in the morning, fold your clothes, like, go to work, try to eat some well-balanced meals, and then also try to have some fun on the side. Like, is this rare? Is this extreme that I want this? And it's because people have tried to parasite off of your energy. And I think they're a tornado. They're like a whirlwind in some way. And so what you do seems like magic to some of these people. But yeah, this is a group that can't articulate what they love about you. And it's because love is like a karmic issue for this group. And getting away from people who don't know what love is, but try to convince you that love is abuse, basically. No. Okay. I love this group. Keep going. This is really excellent energy. This is the energy of excellence. And excellence isn't always loved, actually. It's not. So if you haven't felt that way, then that's probably why. But one day you're going to hit that. And even if you only have one other person in the world that you feel like really actually gets you, I think you're going to get that. I think you are going to get that one other person in the world that just really actually gets it. And you're going to be everything to this person. And this person's going to be like, damn, I have the total package. And they really do. And they are also the total package. And I feel like the two of you are just going to be like grateful, just so grateful. And you're going to feel like this was all worth it at some point. And I feel like there's a real relaxed, secure energy. And I feel like that's love. That's love. So, okay. Oh my gosh, I just keep hearing that. That's love. That's love. You're going to learn what love is. You're destined to in this life. Like, keep going. You're destined to learn what love is. In some way, shape, or form, it's coming in. I think even if you fuck up and like you go with this like negative manipulator and you kind of have to pull yourself away from it, this is a group that I think you're learning. I want to know what love is. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to leave that there. This is a beautiful pile. This is a beautiful group. Very self-protected group that people misunderstand and misread. And I think people try to make it seem like you're the entitled one, but they're only pissed because they can't control you. They actually feel entitled to you. So it's projection. I think you've been around a lot of narcs, actually. Narc, who's there? And you're like bolting the doors. Okay. Leaving it there. Oh, man. Okay. That makes me cry. I am love. Yes. Thank you, Jess. I keep hearing, I want to know what love is. And is somebody going to match my freak? Yeah, I think you're surprising. This is pile 2 is definitely a group that's like you've got some kind of surprise under there. Okay? And I think you're gorgeous and you're fun and you're well-rounded and you're very casual. And I think if people work with you, then they don't really get that impression because you're like very much about business when you're at business or something. But you're actually very social and you're very fun. But I think somebody needs to make you feel safe. And I think somebody needs to pour into you and they need to match your freak. Yeah. The title should be Why They Hate You. Oh my. I did that one time. I did a reading of Why They Hate You. I was called to. And honestly, it was funny. And maybe I'll do that one again. Oh yeah. Right. Oh yeah, I won't let you abuse me. Sorry. All right, so I'll put this back up. The Lightheart Alchemist, thank you so much for the super chat. Match my frequency. That's funny. This is a clever bunch of humans. Okay. So if you're just joining us, we already did pile number 1 and pile number 2, which was the apocalypse and the offering. And now we're moving on to pile number 3, which is the underworld. I don't know why. I have dun dun dun. Like I have to keep doing that. Dun dun dun. Let's go. Pile 3. I remember that one. It was great. I wanted to do it and I was like, probably people don't want to hear this. And I was like, probably people do because I would want to know why someone hates me because I feel like I try my best and I know that I'm not the best person. I know I got a mouth on me. I have anger sometimes. And there are certain behaviors and mostly it's people disrespecting other people and not treating them like they're people and like God made them and loves them. And I just can't stand it. And it just comes out, it just leaks out of me. And I know that makes me unpleasant to be around sometimes, but Cheryl, thank you so much for the super chat. All right, I'm just going to take another little sip and put on my gloss. Put on my gloss. Little Soul Cat has just been sleeping over here in his bed. He's so cute. He's been chilling. I made a little bed for them because I thought maybe somebody would want to get up here, but nobody does, and that's fine. Everybody can make their own decisions in this life, in this house. What?
Is that how you really feel?
Yeah? What does that mean?
That means that you love to get in the cat's faces. You love to force your love upon them, but that's part of what it is to be part of this family.
Okay.
We insist on loving each other.
We insist on loving each other in this home. You will be loved. Okay. Pile number 3, the underworld. Oh, hi. Did you wake? He had a sneeze. I think I just ruined it. Okay. Pile number 3. I ship it. Okay. Why am I so nervous about this pile? Why am I nervous? Don't be nervous. Maybe for some of you, people could get nervous around you. I feel like you're different. Maybe some of you are literally from a different place than people. Okay, let me just get some cards. Let's get cards. What should we do? Okay. Oh, dang. What do people love about pile number 3? Some of you could be really good dancers. Hold on. Let's get some new energy here. What do they love? What do people love about pile number 3? I'm just going to pull a lot of cards here for this one. Because I want to know where this is going. Ugh. Hold on. I feel like Spirit has a message for this pile first. And if I try to dip into this energy and I don't just get it out, then I'm going to struggle with this. The Bayou, thank you so much again for the super chat. Spirit, what message do you have? Sometimes Spirit has a message that's more important that's trying to come through, and I feel like this is one of them. Okay, well, I'm hearing the truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. And I feel like there's something here that you don't see. And Spirit is shielding you from this. But hold on. Spirit, what do you want to say? Spirit's like, you know what I want to say. Just say it. Okay. I feel like somebody's watching you. I don't feel like this person has the best of intentions. They could even be watching like a partnership that you have, and that doesn't have to be romantic. They're very jealous, and I feel like this person could have even paid somebody to do something, and that could maybe be a practitioner, or maybe they're trying to disrupt your peace. Maybe this person wants a partnership with you, but you don't see this coming, is what I'm hearing. You don't see this coming. So what do you want them to be aware of? The Magician, manipulation. So just keep your guard up. What are you looking for? Okay, it could be an argument or some kind of accidental energy. This came through in one of the readings, and I don't know where we're at in the reading cycle because I've been a channeling machine. But somebody could try to like accidentally bump into you or run into you or something in order to like get you off balance, or to make you think that it's fate, or you're not sure if it's fate or not. Yeah, this person's sneaking around you at this current time. Okay, so Spirit just wants you to be aware of that. Just keep your guard up. You left whatever this situation is, and you're like tempering out, and Spirit wants to offer you some kind of sanctuary and to protect you and to surround you with like positive people and to give you some kind of new beginning. But you have to hold true like on your boundaries. Okay, so that's just a message that wanted to come out. Now that we've gotten that, can we move on to what people love? Okay, now we can. So now we got to move on to what people love. So the Hermit energy. So you're very wise. Some of you may have like a meditation practice. You're very balanced. This is like, it's very spiritual energy, actually. It's kind of giving like the love of God. So some of you could like quote certain like spiritual things or something. People, I think, actually want to give their best to you. There could be people around that maybe, I'm hearing, but my love is all I have to give. Without you, I don't. So some people here could be going through a hard time, and they want to be able to give to you, but they don't really have anything but their love to give. And they love that you have, they feel like you've completed something. And honestly, I think this ties in with your wisdom in some way. Yeah. This is a group with a very watery nature in a good way, like very emotional, very empathetic, very calm, very sweet, very loving. Maybe that's why the warning came in for this. You could even be like a gardener, some of you, like you have a green thumb, or like you have it's giving like a worm bin or a compost pile, or like you're very balanced. Some of you are like real nature lovers, and you're in harmony with like the rhythms of nature. Is it buffering? There's just an energy in this pile. I don't know what it is, and I'm distracted by it because I feel like Spirit is telling you to protect yourself. I'm so sorry, pile 3. I'm going to get into why people love you in a second, but there's more that wants to come through. Somebody here is like very aggressive, okay? And they're either in like some kind of group. They could be online. Maybe somebody's trying to get in right now. I don't know, to like our space. Or this could be somebody here that's a friend, and they are trying to like make a move on you or something like that. But you're like getting away from these people because I think you've started some kind of new cycle, okay? And then news cycle. I just heard that. This was kind of what I was getting, but I just didn't want to go down that path because sometimes Spirit just kind of grabs the reading. I'm not really in control here. All I can do is like give the message. And I was getting that before, like you've closed out some kind of cycle and you've had some kind of rebirth. And I feel like, again, whatever it is, you have the Hermit energy. So maybe you've really mastered being alone. And that makes people feel very comfortable in being around you. And there could even be a group here that feels like threatened by that in some way. But you really have like, you have a lot of energy behind you. And oh my gosh. Okay, you know what I think this might be is somebody who maybe doesn't want you to take their man. And I don't think you want this person. And so they're threatened that you've like gone on your own way and you're blasting off, and maybe that somebody wants a relationship with you secretly. Somebody feels like somebody secretly wants a relationship with you. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Spirit's trying to like uncover this person. This is the freak-a-leak that we always pick up on in pile number 3 now. And they're really angry. They're very vengeful and they're very upset. But you seem very detached from this, and you're very calm and cool and collected in your watery energy. Look, water just came out. And you're possibly very psychic. And you're certainly plugged into places where things are psychic. They could be trying to like vengefully spy on you. This is like very vengeful. They could have, remember I was saying that they could have paid somebody or something? Somebody who does something for work. Maybe this person wants to know what it is that you do for work. So I think that, what is the blinking that's going on? Are you guys getting that? This person is watching you. So there's heavy evil eye on this pile as well. I think somebody here has tried to make it, they're convinced that you're doing something sneaky or nefarious. They're convinced that you have some kind of, or this person's gossiping about you and they've tried to tell somebody this, that you have some kind of split in your energy. And it's because they know, okay, so this is linked into what they love most about you. It's because they know that what people love most about you is the opposite of all these things. That you are there's a cool, crisp water feel to this group. And maybe they know that people are watching you, or that someone in particular is watching you, and that you're coming off as this moon energy, very sweet, very comforting, very full, very whole and complete in yourself, very well-rounded, as completing some kind of a cycle here, not wanting to go around again with them or their bullshit. You're not hiding anything. I truly feel, this is the full moon. The full moon is like lit up, so I don't feel like you're hiding anything. And I think you mastered their delusion or their illusion. Oh my gosh, why do I feel like I need to start blowing in a paper bag? Amici just said, I've been encouraged not to post. So if you're getting little intuitive hits like that, not to post certain things, then listen to that. Then definitely listen to that. Yeah. They might know that somebody who's like a boss, this could be somebody at work. They could know that maybe a boss is looking at you and this is sabotage. I feel like somebody's tried to mischaracterize your energy in some way. And in order to gain a partnership, and it could be a partnership at work, or in order to make it seem like you don't share a certain vision with someone. I think this group, maybe what they love about you is connected to one of the other piles. And this is a different message, and I'm sorry about this. Sometimes, and maybe this is what people love about you, is that if there's something more pressing, you don't mind switching. And you don't mind focusing on what needs to be focused on here in this situation. But I can't really fight this energy. Spirit is insistent that this message is coming through. Saturn, blockages, being cold and distant, appealing to some kind of authority. Somebody could have done this about you. They've tried to appeal to some kind of authority, or they've tried to bind you in some way. But you're like water. You like you can't, what are you going to do? Tie up water? Like it's just, so you can't be like held or restricted. I'm going to try to see like what people love. This is somebody from your past. Somebody who tried to end something for you, control something. They could have elevated themselves off of the back of you in some way, throwing you under the bus, or they could have tried to say that you are like a social climber. So this is energy of somebody trying to throw people off the scent of what they actually love about you, because I'm not getting that at all. Who are you really? Mercury. Mercury bridges like the divine. Mercury can get into anything. Very adaptable energy. Maybe you're very eccentric. Mercury and Sagittarius. Yeah, like, so you're somebody who says what you mean and means what you say. And this person's trying to paint you as something else. So it's scrambling. This person's trying to scramble what it is, what people love about you. I feel like that's the message. This is sabotage. It's social sabotage. It is gossip. So they're trying to say that you're some kind of like social climber and that everything that you do for like personal gain and like, business, and that you're, but really you're a person who like Mercury in Sagittarius is like, you say what you mean and you mean what you say. It's the opposite energy of trying to like curate yourself to get some kind of like image. They're trying to create a fantasy about you. Because you're really actually you're Jupiter. They're trying to throw people off your scent. Somebody here is. I'm gonna figure out who this is in just a second. You're actually Jupiter. So you're somebody with very good karmas. You are somebody that works on behalf of like the group, actually, because Jupiter has a lot of abundances, but all of it they recognize doesn't belong to them. You could be very smart, very knowledgeable. You could also be very wealthy, and you're somebody with like a sharp vision, and you are really letting go of this. I'm getting strong Chicha energy. So it's like you're really letting go of like a lot of messed up stuff, or you help other people to do that. You are actually a friend. You're actually defensive and you're very skillful. And something that you do is actually very boundary pushing. And that's what this person does not like. Who is this person? Why are they so obsessed with you? They're from your past. This is a past life karmic for sure. This is maybe somebody who, for some of you, use their body or uses their body to try and get ahead. I think they've maybe used something that you've done or said to try to make it seem like they have transformed in their mind. This is somebody who tries to give an impression of a mental energy, but it's not that. I feel like this person's actually very confused in the things that they say. Very controlling, very angry. And they want to burn up all of your like beauty, all of your abundance. Because this is a very lovable group. And you might be associating with one of the other piles for that. The Lightheart Alchemist, thank you so much for the super chat. Can you tell if it's a family or a stranger or an ex-partner? Oh my gosh, this person wants to, I'm going to try to follow where this is going. I'm more getting a sexual energy, to be honest. So it could be an ex-partner. It could be somebody attached to an ex-partner, or it could be somebody that you try to use their body to gain a partnership, but pretends like that's not what they did. Because I feel like there's a lot of projection actually coming from this person. And, or this could be somebody that broke up a relationship or wanted to, or, but with this fire energy, I think they want to burn up all the green and like leave you like this, leave you with nothing, leave you feeling like, because this is a power stance, right? Of like celebrating yourself. And this is like somebody that's like closed in on themselves. That's how they want you to be, because they're this Pisces energy. Like I always get look at these fish. They look so angry and like petulant. And it's because they feel angry and petulant, possibly of like attention that you receive. They don't like that you are loved. They want to stop it. They want to stop you from being loved. I just heard the word moist. Someone tell me why I heard the word moist. And they're trying to be like very seductive, or maybe they were in the past. So this could have been someone who tried to seduce you in the past, or who tried to seduce someone away from you and into some kind of loss position, maybe through like being a third party. Yeah, this is somebody who seduced someone. Or they tried to. Maybe they tried to seduce you, or maybe they tried to seduce someone else because they wanted somebody in a partnership. So I feel you've left this all behind in the past. So why are they, let me just see. What else can you tell us about this person, Spirit? Pluto. So they're very cold. They're a stalker. This person is a stalker. And they're good at what they do. This like stalking energy, they're very strategic. They tried to get somebody here to think of you as being this like Aquarius energy that you are, or they tried to, this is the energy of a friend who is suddenly like, boom, like, it's like a schmegsual energy towards you or towards someone else. Ugh. I'm getting like a vampiric energy. And they did this in order to like kind of come at you. So they could have pretended to be a friend to ambush you, maybe schmegsually, or maybe towards somebody else. Like that's another thing. Or They could have done this to somebody else in order to cause an ending and in order to gain in their reputation in some way. And it's very like, it's this energy, but it's giving like, come at me, bro. It's so aggressive. Like, this is an energy that's actually very aggressive. And it's because you've escaped something. What did you escape? They're thieving. You've escaped their thieving. They're very territorial, whoever this person is. Okay, what else? They're not like really telling me anything. I feel frustrated by this. Why is this not? This is a very manipulative person. This is a person who wants you to feel afraid that everything is going to change and that you're going to lose it all. They also want to change positions with you in terms of the way that you're seen and the way that they're seen. Because I feel like this person is a social climber. And I feel like they're trying to say that you are. And I feel like this person is sneaky and argumentative and destructive. And they want to say that you are. They want to block communication here. They want to block communication.
Did you see the Lightheart Alchemist ask, can you tell us if it's family or a stranger or an ex-partner?
I did, and I'm just getting a sexual energy, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think it's family. I don't think it's a friend. It might have appeared to be as a friend, but there's a sexual energy that's coming through. So I feel like it's an ex-partner, or it's somebody attached to an ex-partner, or it's somebody that tried or succeeded in coming in between you and someone else. This is somebody who is very sexual, and they're very. It's giving like a K2 energy, so it's past life, but this is like somebody who is very suburban in a way, and K2 can be very vampiric. It's like they try to vampire off of somebody, and that could be for what they have. There might be like a sexual vampire here as well. It's they've really, this is them and this is you. You're the Queen of Wands in this. Like, I feel like you're minding your business, you're happy, you're playful, you're fun, and you're free. And honestly, the Queen of Wands to me is somebody who's got enough going on that they don't care about other people. This is a person who's just like, they're looking at you like you're this butterfly. They're looking at your transformation. They hate it. They want to obscure the truth and they want to cut it down so that they're seen as the Queen of Wands and you're seen as the Queen of Swords, as somebody that's very, very manipulative. But actually, this person's very manipulative and you are actually not. You're that Mercury and Sagittarius. You're just being yourself in some way. And they maybe want to cause an argument. They want to block like Libran energy. They want to block a conversation. They want to block a relationship by causing some kind of argument. And they're sneaking around in order to do that. And they could be pretending to be a friend in order to do that. They're sneaking around. They want you to feel insecure. They want you to feel lacking. They want you to feel lackluster. But Spirit is stepped into this situation. I think that's why Spirit keeps bringing this up, because Spirit's like, I'm about to fling this snake off this wheel. Because I think they have a choice and they don't necessarily know that they have a choice. And yeah, they don't know. It's about, so Spirit is saying that I'm intervening in this space. And right now this person has a choice about being the Fool, moving on, starting like some kind of new cycle, or being the Devil. They have a choice here. And otherwise there's a Tower coming in. And the Tower is going to ruin their plan, first of all. But it may come in from a King of Wands. So this could be some kind of leader. This could be somebody that maybe they tried to control. They could have, if this is somebody, they broke you up between like the two of them. That King of Wands, I think, is going to go independent from them in some way, close out a cycle in some way, or is going to be receiving a different offer, some offer that is like causing a painful ending. And they're going to have to go on the same path that you did, I think, in some way. Okay, I just felt the energy lighten where this person was like, oh. And now they're up in their head because there's judgment on this situation. Okay. So there's judgment on this situation, and I feel like that's, oh my gosh. Okay, I feel like that does actually loop around to what people love about you because you've closed this cycle. And I picked up on that at the beginning, but I didn't understand that. I feel like you've elevated out. So for some of you, this is like pile 2 energy where you were climbing out that pit and you actually got up there. And it's caused this cycle to come crashing down to where Spirit is saying, nope, this is actually closed. This person has moved on, and so they've earned their freedom. It's like they've learned all their lessons here, and this cycle is like actually closing. And so now these people are confronted with their own choice because it's like you've left all the energy that these people were throwing at you, and this person in particular. Yeah, because I'm seeing somebody like really trying to climb up next to you in order to knock you down. And Spirit is saying, because you've actually closed this cycle, and that's actually what people appreciate about you. Because I think whoever this is that's sneaking around in the shadows is a dick to a lot of people. Look, the Wheel of Fortune, man, it just keeps coming out. Spirit saying, look, I got this. I got this. I'm about to fling this snake. Because something needs to change in this cycle. And so I feel like this person has like done a lot of bad things to a lot of people behind the scenes and not been caught out. So on a soul level, I feel like what people love about you is you're the cycle breaker. I don't even think that you meant to. And I'm hearing that, okay, eat, pray, love. Okay, so now we're finally getting into what people love about you. Good gracious. And I feel like this mirrors a cycle that you've been through with this person. And you might not have even known this because with the Wheel of Fortune, I feel like Spirit's had its hand in this, like actually since the beginning. And I'm hearing that footprints quote from the Bible where it's like, when you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. And so I feel like Spirit was carrying you the whole time. So you might have not even realized the negativity that this person was putting out there about you into a certain group, the way that they were talking about you, the way that they were trying to make people doubt about you. You might not have even known that because Spirit like kept you shielded from that. But you've somehow overcome it and you've gotten out of whatever this situation is. And you've broken the cycle. But I'm hearing from eat, pray, love. And for some of you, there's a quality about you that's very eat, pray, love that people actually love. So you know, it's that Italian phase of her eating a bunch of pasta and has to buy the bigger size pants and tells her friend, like, has a guy ever told you to leave the room? Okay, well then don't worry about it. You know, it's like that kind. And then there's the meditating side of you. And then there's the side of you out in Bali that's like just living, laughing, loving, you know, kind of a thing. So it's these, they love your progression and they love your story or your journey and they love like these different things. But there's a quote in that where she's trying to raise money for, Tuti, which is the child of the woman who lived in Bali and she was divorced and she was the healer and I can't think of her name. And she writes an email to all of her friends and she's like, sometimes when you set out to help yourself, you really end up helping Tuti, which means everybody. So you really end up helping everybody. And I feel like that's what people love about you. I just got goosebumps, like on a soul level. Again, whether they can put their finger on it or whether they can't, you set out to free yourself, but you ended up, it was such a pure frequency. It ended up helping everybody. And so this is shaking. You've broken a cycle here and it's shaking and it's breaking. And this tower, it's a tower energy. It's a divine tower energy. It's crumbling and it's falling. And that's what they appreciate because they're getting a different perspective. And a lot of these people are going cold. They're going dark with this person who was, or they're just about to, because this is coming out. This is coming out. And so I think similar to you, where Spirit may have gotten you away from a certain situation to protect you, I think Spirit's like, get out now. Get out now or it's going to be very uncomfortable for you because people are going to start talking. People have some things to say about you. People are going to realize some things about you. So if you would not like to be around, if you would like to try and start new and start different, do that now because I think Spirit's allowing this person to know the games are done. Your previous tactics are done. They are not being tolerated. So I'm literally feeling tears. But actually, this is a freedom energy. So again, whether or not people like accept it or love it about you yet, it's like even that person who is like so freaking nasty, it's like you freed people from the underworld. Anonymous, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, I'm so glad. But yeah, so this was a weird one. This is a very spiritual group. And I feel like you might connect with one or both of the other piles here. This was some kind of painful ending. And Spirit is saying, I'm making good on my promise to you. I told you you would experience no more pain in regards to this, and I fucking meant it. And so somebody here is about to have this 10 of Swords. And actually, I'm seeing in my mind, okay, there's a reading from this reader, Kat. I mention her all the time. Weird as the New Black, love her. And there's this one reading of hers. It's called Liar, and it's like this big Pinocchio thing. And sometimes in my brain, I just see the thumbnail to that, and I'm seeing that now. So you might want to go check that out. But it's this whole thing. I'm literally getting goosebumps. But it's this whole thing where somebody has lied about you, and they have only a certain amount of time to come out with it. They need to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And Spirit's giving them that opportunity. And if they do, things are going to be very much easier for them. But if they don't, like I'm hearing her say in that reading, because it was the 10 of Swords, she said, I'm seeing multiple 10 of Swords cards. And that's what's at the bottom of the deck here. They will have to, she says something like, they will have to pay for every lie that they have ever told. And she was like, this is really big, because this is a fucking liar. Okay. And they have hurt multiple people, and they've hurt you behind your back more times than they can even count. They've told lies about you. They've not told the truth about you, where some kind of truth would actually really matter. And they've left you in the dirt, face down on your belly to like die. And that might be literal in other lifetimes. Cause remember there's the lifetimes I keep seeing you in that river where you got like ambushed, actually literally ambushed, I feel. And so this is the cycle that is closing, and Spirit is saying, look, this was heavy hitting energy. And when I tell you that thank you. You've walked your path. You have learned your lessons here. And when I tell you will experience no more pain when it comes to this, that is exactly what I mean. I'm hearing that. You have kept your promise to me. I don't know what is going on here. This feels like maybe I'm literally, my body is like alight with goosebumps right now. And it's like, you have kept your promise to me. You have fulfillment is what I'm hearing. Fulfillment is ahead for you, Murgashira. You left something. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Murgashira is the energy right out the Garden of Eden, right at the beginning of Gemini, and its Shakti power is fulfillment. And I feel like that's what's ahead for you. And the people who have been around you, and the people who have assisted you and believed in you and supported you, there is a real fulfillment coming in, real fulfillment. And it's because you left a certain situation that you were told to leave. You were told to leave. You were told not to collude with that energy, and you didn't know why. And it's because it wasn't what you thought it was. I think you thought these people were your friends. I think I'm saying they, okay? So there could be more than one person here who's learning their lesson and getting their just desserts. But it wasn't what you thought it was. And you were taught, you were told, or something, an accident happened here and it split you off. And there was a reason for that. And it's because it wasn't what it seemed. These people pretended to like you. They pretended to be your friends. In reality, they were all sucking. They were all it was a race to the bottom with these people. They really were trying to outdo each other with how low can you go? How low can you go? And that's who these people are. And your energy is the exact opposite. And this has like come out, or it's about to come out. Somebody here is going to have to defend themselves. They're going to have to defend themselves. And I feel like it's indefensible. And it feels like there's a group here that thought that maybe this person was like leading them to victory or something, or they want like a victory. I don't know. This person maybe thought that I feel like they peddled some type of bullshit. They peddled some type of lie. And now these people want their just desserts. They're like, wait, I feel like these people, there's like a ringleader here. And I feel like you lied. You told us, you sold us out. Because this is a group, I'm sorry, but everybody turns on everybody in this group. Everybody's a fake phony and whatever. I feel like it's a group. Everybody sucks in this group. Nobody is legitimate, so everybody's two-faced to everybody else. And I think they're turning on this person and they're like, what the fuck? Because you are balanced. And they could have had this, is what I'm feeling. They could have had this, but instead this person framed winning as some kind of underworld bullshit, as colluding with some kind of dark energy, very negative energy. They framed winning as betraying you, as hurting another person. And now they're under judgment. They wanted to judge you, and they didn't want to have to look at themselves. They didn't want to have to look at their own brain and why they did what they did. They didn't want that, or they didn't want other people looking at what was actually going on in their mind. So they had some kind of strategy. They didn't want other people to see that. And so they tried to navigate in the dark. Maybe they tried to give other people options. Maybe they tried to be an option. Maybe They were trying to take something from you. This person was trying to take something from you and have you anxious in this group. And I think they could have tried to maybe they used a sob story to do this, but it was very strategic. I'm literally seeing fake tears. Like this person could have fake cried to people and oh my gosh. I want to use this example from pop culture, but I can't because it's too divisive. But dang. But yeah, it's they tried to like act like you did something to them and that they needed to be comforted and that they needed to be nurtured. In reality, this person is a clown and this person is deeply malevolent and they did that on purpose. And it's literally like, I'm seeing this person like lights, camera, action. Ooh. You know, and it's like, ew. And then this person wants to say that you're a social climber or something here like that. They wanted to poison people's minds against you, whoever this is, because you are actually beloved. You are the beloved, I feel like, for a lot of these people. And there's multiple people here where you share a vision. You are the harmonious partner for a lot of these people in this group. So this is like friendship, I feel like. There could be a romantic partner in here. There could be. But at the very least, it's friendship. These people should have been tender to you. They should have realized that you actually share some kind of vision. And instead, I feel like they were encouraged to be in some shit energy. And they're responsible for that. They're responsible for that. There was a real manipulation here. These people were not what they seemed. I keep getting that. Okay, so I'm also hearing like this is a reading about like what people love about you, but this is what spirit loves about you. This is what your spirit guide team loves about you. You are so beloved on the other side of things. You are so beloved. And you're seen as so strong for having endured whatever it was that you endured. And I feel like you actually did some kind of work here, like on behalf of spirit. And again, it doesn't seem like it's coming from your ego. I'm not even sure that you were conscious of it. And I think that you were just trying to do what's best, or you were trying to do what's right. And you can't help that some people suck. I mean, it sucks to suck. And you're not in control of other people. They're in control of themselves. And this is the way they have chosen to behave. And I feel like they're caught out. Is what I feel like. They're caught out. They've been called out because these are people that try to hide behind this. So I think what people actually love about you is you don't do this. You don't try to hide behind this. Nothing is wasted. You actually deal with your bullshit and you have some kind of vision. And I think you've given some people here a vision for the future. And you are actually, I just heard, I'm not trying to blow smoke here, but like the way, the truth, and the life, I feel like, and Jesus meant like, pick up your cross and follow me. It's like, I'm not special. We're all supposed to do this. So I feel like you showed the way in some way of how to deal with this fucked up energy. Because these are people that don't want to look at their own psychology. But you showed them how to do that. And now you've given them a vision for what healing looks like. And I actually think you are the only reason that these people have an out. These people have a window of time where they need to start coming clean. And I think everybody's lied to each other here. Ugh, like I just felt like a burp or like a... It didn't come out, but like I just felt like a vomit or something, word vomit, like something needs to come out. And it's all these people. They all have something that they need to reveal to each other in conversation, to you, about you. I really think each one of these people have a very special, tender moment with you where you helped them, where you were sweet in conversation and you really helped them, or you revealed a tender thing to them of like that you're a human and that you're. And that's why the judgment is going to be so harsh, because I think that you've given every single one of these people a reason to love you and to know that they were loved in return. I think that you've given every single one of these people the chance to be Libran and to have a relationship that was equal, mutual, and satisfying on both ends. I think that's what you have done. I don't think you meant to. I think that's just your energy. And I think each of these people stabbed you in the back, and they really didn't need to. It really didn't need to occur. They just needed to have some level of just a baseline of I'm not that fucked up. I'm not that fucked up. They needed to walk away. These people were given a chance to walk away from a group. They saw something unfold. This is over several years. They saw something unfold over several years. And because they didn't have the truth, but they had all they needed to be able to put the truth together. So this is an important message here because, first of all, you're very beloved by Spirit. And I feel like this is a group who hasn't been loved. Like this is inappropriate mirroring, and this is being flipped. This is actually being flipped. There are people who manufactured love, which is just, they manufactured some kind of social position or some kind of reputation off the back of your suffering to try to build on it. They tried to build on it in some way. So all of this is like going to come crashing down. There's a secret that's going to come out. All these people have secrets that potentially could ruin them, whether they know it or not. And I'm kind of getting that, oh my gosh, they thought that something here was like a new beginning. They thought that they were winning here. Okay. So now that we're forever into this, what do people love about you? They love that you are the mountain, and I'm hearing that you're very dignified. No matter how the wind may howl, there's a lot of word energy here. No matter how the wind may howl, the mountain cannot bow to it. They love that you've been the hermit, that you've gone within, that you protected yourself, but you're still like very much keeping warm. They love that you've traversed some kind of like dark, scary forest. They love, I'm really getting the other piles with this. Like a lot to do with pile number 1 is coming through right now. They love this death energy about you, that you're intense. I think they love that you separate the wheat from the chaff, actually. I think this is your guides, actually. This is your guides. This is why you were chosen. I just feel like some of you were chosen to come here and you had to get planted in a certain soil, and maybe you feel hurt by this. And this is like coming to an end. This really gives like Day of Judgment vibes, to be honest. You've worked with them. You have worked with spirit. You have worked with spirit. And you went to the underworld. You went to some kind of scary place, some kind of grungy place where you were not treated appropriately or fairly or properly. And in order to give people more time is what I'm getting. You actually gave people more time to work out their karmas, to give them some kind of different perspective. And you've also changed your perspective in something here in accordance with spirit, because you've worked together with them. And now you have a bright, sunny future ahead. You really do. You have fulfillment. You have warmth. And I think some of you are going to be seen finally. This is justice, is for you to be seen finally in the light that you deserve as who you are. Your personality is going to be seen as what it is. Happy, warm, whole. I think some of you are just, you're very jovial people, and you're going to get to like experience that. You're actually going to get to experience the happiness, because there's somebody has surrounded you with really negative energy because they wanted people to blame you and attack you. And you're not a person who is, your karmas, no, you are not a person who's done that. You were cloaked, I feel like, for spirit. And so you've got this passionate new beginning, and somebody here might be offering you some kind of new beginning. Keep in mind though, that heads up energy, because there's somebody here that's like, remember, was trying to come back from the past. They might be trying to make it seem like it's an accident, or they could be trying to hurt you in some way. I think that's their spiritual test. They want to try to maybe get between you and a family, or get between you and a group, or to leave them lacking and to leave you lacking. They want to position themselves as some kind of sanctuary here. I think they want to squeeze you out of something in order to start some kind of partnership. This is evil. They're very manipulative. This is not going to go through though. Spirit loves you very much. I feel like that's the message. But this is deeply buried, because I feel like it's supposed to be this message. Yeah, and you've got love coming in. Or if you already have a love, it's going to be allowed to grow and flourish. And there's going to be no secrets. And it's all out in the light of day. Your friends are going to show themselves. Your friends have an opportunity to show themselves here. Look, somebody's trying to get at you. This is like the last hurrah. This is like the kind of death throes of whatever this cycle is. Because this person is hung up. This person has like their arms tied behind their back. They're supposed to get a different perspective. That's not what they're doing. They're supposed to be watching you, and they are, because they're supposed to get a different perspective that's going to help them with their own underworld journey. That's not what they're doing. They're supposed to be immobilized here because they're just supposed to be watching. That's not what they're doing. They're trying to plan. They're weighing their options, and so this is shaping up to be a karmic test. They have some kind of like choice here. This is like a rival. They're trying to rival you to get you to leave a group. But really, that's actually what everybody else needs to do. This person needs to leave a group. Literally, that's the Fool energy. Okay, so I think, yeah, there's something here to do with the past. Maybe in the past they had some kind of bright idea. I mean, there's judgment on this situation. I think Spirit's saying that's what they need to say. In the past, I had this bright idea where I was going to hurt this person. They need to come out with it. There's certain people that they need to... Yeah, they tried to betray you. They tried to hurt your heart in some way. So, TikTok, High Priestess, message. Spirit's saying the message is going to come out. Okay, the messages are going to come out. Something here is like going to be exposed. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I know some people are going to be frustrated with this message, but there's a higher purpose to this, and there's a higher purpose to like you. And I feel like there's a lot of love that's coming through from like your spirit guides. I just heard, hold on, it gets better than you know. Don't stop. It's Good Charlotte. Hold on. I feel like you should listen to that song. Hold on. Your guides are saying, hold on. This is about to get so good. It's going to get better than you could have ever fathomed. Oh my gosh. And then I just picked this up and it says, please don't go. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. If you're watching this, because I feel like some of you, like gauntlet has been thrown. You're supposed to come out with it. You're supposed to say exactly what you did. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. It's just hard. It's just hard to admit, to stand in the light of day. And that's the healing energy, because sunlight is the best disinfectant. But that's what Spirit is demanding of you. Because I feel like if you're receiving this message of like, this is a heads up, you've got TikTok, you've got a certain amount of time to make a choice here. Then you just need to know the level of like humiliation, the heaviness that you put at somebody else. And you're not going to know that unless, I think some of you thought it was okay to maneuver behind the scenes. But now that you actually have to say it out loud and you actually have to own up to it out loud, you're for the first time being confronted with the enormity and the wrongness of what you did and why you did it. Because I think you're going to have to sit there and say to a person, well, I tried to take away your self-sovereignty because I thought what you didn't know wouldn't hurt you. And that if I was strategic and I kept certain things from you in order to coerce you into making a certain decision that you, knowing the full truth, would not want to make, I thought that was fine. And I thought that I got to make that decision for you because I just deeply disrespect you. Well, it makes you sound like a piece of shit, doesn't it? It doesn't make you sound like a piece of shit. It's something you need to start taking ownership for. And Spirit's done playing that game with you where you just hide because you think that your intentions are good and that somebody doesn't know, somebody gets to live their own human life is what they need to do. And you need to learn how to be a friend. And if there's somebody else that's bothering you about getting at this person, you need to tell them to go kick rocks and that they need to start respecting consent and sovereignty and respecting someone's decision, and that you are not going to collude with them in trying to get around someone's consent or their sovereignty. You're not going to do it because it's wrong to do it. And I think you also need to turn and tell that person, you know, I can really see why they don't talk to you because they gave you a no and look what you're here doing. So it's really not a surprise that no one would want to hang out with you. That's the least surprising thing I will hear all day. I think you need to start seeing the truth of the matter. I think you need to start seeing the truth of the matter. That's just for some of you here who are here hearing this message, and it might seem very harsh. I just feel like the level of energy you leveled at this innocent person for literally no reason is way harsher. It's the level of this is coming out in one of the readings. What's good for you isn't good for them. The level of like, I'm going to do this horrible, awful thing that's totally disrespectful. And then if you just call me out on what I'm doing and you just tell me how wrong it is, I feel victimized by that. And you shouldn't do that to me, but I can do this over here to them. No. I don't want to hear, Jess, you're being mean. I'm being mean? Look at you, sweetie. Look over here. Look at what's been done. Look at it. It's not mean for somebody to tell you that that is wrong. It's unacceptable. It needs to get cleared up. Something needs to be adjusted. Okay. Moving on. I really don't like getting into that energy. I really don't. Okay. Compassion. Compassion, 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 compassion. Well done, Jess. Bunny butt. Okay, welcome to the butt messages. This is the general messages. Bunny butt. Bunny, bunny, bunny butt. Bunny butt. Bunny, bunny, bunny butt. I'm sorry. I feel bad. I don't think I should do that. I know this is like a plush toy, but I'm sorry. Oh, Brioche, she says, I feel sad that these are always my piles, and I feel like I left the situation behind a while ago. You know, I think that for a lot of you, like, you really don't understand the enormity of what you've been through. And I think it's multiple lifetimes. I don't think it's near as easy clearing that kind of energy as a lot of people think or want or hope that it should be. And I think that just because you're kind of trying to move away from something on your side, again, like with pile number 3, there's a group here that Spirit moved you away, but there's still something unfolding on their side. This is still very much an active situation. Very much. Like, it's getting ready to not be, I think, but it's very much still active. Like, not on your side, because you've definitely done everything that you needed to do to put this to bed. And I feel like before you did that on your own, it's like these people could have made a decision to come towards you, to apologize, to be fair, to have a certain conversation in a certain way that would have balanced out the karma. That the door was open for them to do that. But that's exactly what they needed to do. They can't manipulate, they can't strategize, and Spirit, I think, has been keeping guard on that. So now that you have actually processed everything, because I felt like before you needed something from these people, or you felt like you did, some kind of explanation or an apology, or maybe some of you thought you wanted a relationship with some of these people, whether this is like friendship or whatever. But it's come out like what's actually been going on. So I think there's more than one person here. And this feels like a pit that you've crawled out of, and you've had to learn what love is. If that's not small at all. It's not small at all. And so I feel like this is something energetically, it like goes back lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes. And it's built in such like a groove that, you know, anybody who has struggled with any kind of an addiction, whether that's with a substance or anything, it's something that you're kind of steadily moving away from. And this comes out in one of the readings as well, but picture the seed card here, where the beginnings are always kind of like new seeds, new seeds, new seeds. There's always like a new beginning, you know? If that makes sense. It's not just, okay, so say I start on a new volleyball league, that's a new beginning. But the moment that I talk with Sarah, that's also another new beginning. It's not just the beginning of me starting on the volleyball team. Now me and Sarah are going to be friends, and that's like a new beginning. There's like these new beginnings. Well, there's always kind of like endings, and I feel like there's this tapered off kind of an ending. And so it's one thing, you know, to be sad, and I think, you know, to honor that, but it's another thing to say like, dang, I'm progressing. Like, I definitely see that there's some kind of progression. Yeah. All right. Bunny butt. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's progress, and you are like lifting this energy, but it's such a dense energy. This really is. It's underworld energy too, and I don't think that it jives with your personality or with like your energy, which is also why I think you're just like, no, I want out of this, you know. And you're steadily moving out of this. You really are. There's a lot of progress being made here, and it feels like this is really, they're clearing this. I feel like for a lot of you, like really from your auric field, and it's not just as simple as like it's here 1 minute, gone the next kind of a thing. All right, so general messages. I hate it whenever I get into that energy. Whew. It's not like my energy either. It's really not a natural space for me. And I feel like that's how you feel as well. You've been made to deal with it, and you feel masterful now at being able to deal with it, but it's not like you like it, and it's not like you want it around. All right, so moving into the general messages. Okay. All right, Spirit, what messages? Okay, I feel like some of you like get some rest. You're definitely healing. I think there's a lot of energy work, actually. They're moving a lot of energy, and that's kind of what we were talking about. So just make sure that you would do all the things that you're doing if you're getting energy work done. So drinking water, getting some rest, being very compassionate, eating green foods, getting a walk in nature. But if you feel tired, rest is what I'm getting. Yeah. I feel like, okay, so we have the clarification. I can't show you this, but we have the 3 of angels, which is the 3 of swords, and there's clarification. So clarification here. And then the Two of Three Trees, which is flexibility. And for some reason, I'm actually really liking this card. It's giving a good energy. Eight of Swords, surge. So there's like a real surge of energy. I feel like, yeah, there's some kind of energy work that is moving as some kind of betrayal energy is being clarified. And Spirit's asking you to be flexible at this time. But the flexibility, this is like Two of Trees, which is like kind of like going back and forth. So it's maybe dipping in and then dipping out. But it's 50-50 kind of, so like you're dipping in and then you're dipping out. Dipping in and then you're dipping out. But this is very much like a go touch grass kind of energy with all the green, and like maybe some of you like, I don't know, like you plant your own vegetables or something, or you're being encouraged to do that. I feel like getting your hands in the dirt will actually really help you here in some way. But it's leading to some kind of surge of energy. It really is. I feel like it's giving like there's an ungunking and unblocking of like certain chakras is what it feels like. So it feels like Kundalini energy might be rising or preparing to rise, but this feels like they're prepping you. I feel like your guides are saying, look, we're prepping you. And, because Kundalini energy, they say, can be actually very dangerous to like awaken it, because especially if you live a Western lifestyle, because our chakras can get all gunked up from the way that we're living. And so I feel like, okay, so for some of you, if you are feeling like you should move away from certain foods or certain habits, like definitely listen to that, because I feel like they're trying to ungunk your chakras is what I'm keep getting it. And so they're asking you to be flexible with this process, and just know that you might feel an urge to take a rest. You might feel an urge to go for a walk. You're moving energy. You're moving a lot of energy. And so sometimes they need you to do certain things in order to move the energy. I hope that makes sense. Because there's about to be a surge of energy. And I'm just seeing with this eye here, it's like, it's a heart chakra healing. And like, and it's like the third eye is like very opened or very balanced. And this is like preparing for union, but this feels like with spirit, like actually preparing for, this feels like an awakening or some kind of enlightenment experience, because you're learning how to be the alchemist. But there's a lot of alchemy that's happening. Some of you, like, you need to cry, like allow the tears to come out. You might not even know why you're crying. But it's just like the time that you are going through. And yeah, and there's like a lot of acceptance here, some kind of impulsive energy. I feel like you're really elevating, actually. You're really elevating. There's still that energy that's coming through where they might also have the impulse to cry. This is the person who's like watching you from the shadows. I feel like they're stuck in some kind of codependent relationship. And I feel like they're watching you succeed or elevate or like finally gain some kind of, I feel like that's spiritual though. I feel like this is like something spiritually happening where you are being removed. There's like a lot of intertwinement. Like there's a lot of entanglement. I just heard quantum entanglement, like with a certain person or a certain group or a certain energy. And you're actually leaving. And you're moving into some kind of union. I'm going to cover this. But you're moving into some kind of union. And I feel like it's actually with spirit. You're very balanced in your energies. And I feel like some of you, like, there's some kind of breakthrough in love. So you might well meet somebody. I feel like there's a lot of comfort that's coming in here as well. Spiritual comfort. You're moving towards a heart energy. You're moving towards joy. Yeah, the Lovers just came out, ecstasy. Yeah, so just be patient with this process, but this feels big. So they're clearing your chakras. They want you to know that specifically. There's like some kind of energetic purging or processing that is taking place. Oh my gosh, yeah, depression. So this is like maybe stages of grief. But it's healing. Something here is healing. There's like, you're going to have success in your healing. I'm hearing trust the process. They're saying you're having success you're on the road to success. Oh, you're on, there's this song. It's like, you're on the road to success. Watch out for trolls and don't get depressed. Learn to be bold. Haters going to hate. Tester's going to test, but you continue your journey because you're the best. But this is like, you're going to have success here in healing. This is like judgment energy. There's an awakening. There's an emergence. Certain things are being unearthed here so that you can purge them and let them go. And it's like through the waters of the body. So this is like maybe through crying, possibly through sweating. So like if you want to go for a run or something, but they're saying, trust this. And it's revealing like your innocent heart. And Spirit is so proud of you. You've really persevered. And there's a culmination. There's a culminating experience. And that culmination is transitioning you to some kind of new beginning. New beginning and intuition. You're being moved towards this new beginning, but there is a purging, and it's an energetic purging, and it feels like clearing of the chakras. There's like some energy work I feel like that's going on. And you have a guardian. Trust your anxiety. It's your guardian, actually. So if you feel too nervous around somebody, then oh my gosh. But you're also being removed from whatever this is that's causing you anxiety. And I feel like it's something you don't even understand. It's like on a soul level, and it could be these patterns of codependency and not being able to trust people. And it just has given rise to this like underlying anxiety in your personality, but you are being moved away from that. You're being given some kind of like abundance and some kind of new beginning. You're making progress, and you are expanding, and you're closing this cycle down. Wow. Wow. And this is all love is what I'm getting, like what people love about you. And so for some of you, especially if pile number 3 resonated with you, you're so loved by spirit. You're so loved by like your spirit guides. And this is a process that's being brought in. It's like a clearing, it's a cleansing and a purging. And this is really being brought together for you, like out of love. And you're closing down the cycle. And I think you're really going to find yourself expanding. But you have to just trust that they know what they're doing. Because if they try to expand you before you're ready, something's going to be wrong. You know, like it's not what you think it is. Like, so they're purging certain things. They're saying you might feel confused about your progress. But there's a plan. And there's healing with the star. And some kind of stability. And for some of you, like if you've been having problems with your rooted space or in your career, I feel like there's stability coming in for that. This is beautiful. Wow, this is beautiful. Because you've really been through something hard here. You really have. And it almost feels like kind of a gross baptism. And so you've had some kind of initiation to like the underworld. You've gone through that even though I feel like it's foreign. Like that's not where your energy like typically belongs. You have gone through it. And so they're lightening your energy again. They're purging that out. It's like a cleansing shower. Okay. It's a gross baptism. I am ready because they feel like you're ready. You're ready. You're finally ready. And there's a taking care of your body. There's a taking care of like your physical body. So if you feel like you want to do something with your body, this is anything like go to the gym, get a massage. If you're feeling that, then I feel like you should do it. What a beautiful note to end on. What a beautiful note to end on. Oh my gosh, it's like a spring cleaning. I feel like it's like a spring cleaning. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. And after this, I'd like a baptism in rowing alcohol. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm just going to mention our candles really quick. We do sell those. 9woods.etsy.com. And our spring and summer scented candles are available. So we have the Fresh Start. I'm pretty sure Fresh Start is like our best-selling scent ever. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's fresh. It's kind of like laundry, but it's in a good way. It's fresh. And now's a good time to have that like spring cleaning. Like if you like a clean smelling home, then that's a good one. But there's a warmth to it as well. I don't know why, but it always makes me think of like cashmere because it's like soft or warm. And Hedge Witch is, I think, an instant classic. I think that's the first one that we really crafted. And it smells like a secret garden, but like soft in the morning, the early hours of dawn. It's very fresh, very herbal, spring energy. Sunnyside and Moonlit Beach as well. So both of those have like kind of a spa kind of scent to them, I think. Sunnyside, it's kind of meant to smell like vacation. You know, like when you're out in the sun and like on a beach or something, like there is a soft kind of, I don't know, vacation kind of smell to it as well, but it is sunny. And then Moonlit Beach smells again like vacation, but to me it smells like being on a moonlit beach. It's very calming, very relaxing. And yeah, so that's etsy.9woods.com. Yeah, and the Patreon non-romance reading will be out tomorrow morning. Soon the internet will have scratch and sniff capabilities. Yes. Oh, Amici, my kids love the mama's house. I'm so glad. Thank you for clearing all that up, Jess. I feel like I've been getting pieces of it over the past months, but it's brought the pieces together. I'm so glad. Thank you guys for sticking with me too, because sometimes I get worried that people think that I think some people don't understand tarot fully sometimes. And so when these energies come through, like I feel like I kind of mirror your energy in a certain way. It doesn't feel natural to me either to be in these heavy hitting energies, with these people who are doing certain things. But Spirit is trying to guide us and to keep us safe and to keep us alerted when there are certain negative energies. And I really don't play. I really don't play with those energies. I don't like them. I just like to make it very clear that I don't like those energies. I don't want to collude with those energies, and I don't want them around us. And if they're here, and I know it can be a little bit intense, and so just thanks, and thanks for showing up. I think so to your spiritual journey. But okay, if you haven't, hit the like button. Yes. Thank you for channeling the darker energy. I know it feels funky. Well, I don't really, it doesn't feel very natural, but sometimes I feel that I just worry that I'm not going to be given grace in doing it. I don't know. All right. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to go eat some food. I hope that you guys have a lovely, wonderful rest of your week. We have a Patreon reading tomorrow. And I have been working through personal readings. I'm taking a bit of a break because I've been channeling a lot and I'm feeling kind of tired, so I'm going to take a couple of weeks for myself to kind of replenish my energy, touch grass, and then I'm going to get back to doing the personal readings. So strong tacos. All right, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye.